Hey, what's going on, guys? Stiflerd here, and welcome to episode number 20 of the Void Frogs podcast. Today, I am joined by my co-host, the Q. Magnet, and one of the most specialist of guests.
What?
With screams of pain, suffering from years of falling from great blocky heights, our next guest has landed here on the Void Frogs podcast to deliver a message. Announcing the return of the Nomad! Oh, no, that's not it, no.
Oh,
Successful
wow.
YouTuber, marketplace partner, brand wielding, blah, 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 business owner, yeah, million subscribers, billion views. Played a map called Diversity. That sounds fun.
What?
Big
you got
deal.
me.
Hey, Stifler, make sure you log this interview. Cross those T's and dot those I's.
Oh,
and if he speaks, zip it! We are honored that he found in his incredibly busy schedule to talk with us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Tyler Pappas, Logdotzips!
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me. What up? I'm honored to be here today. And what an intro, can I just say? The Nomad, that was the biggest throwback that I was not prepared for. I don't know if I liked it yet.
No?
but we'll see. We'll see. It's impressive nonetheless.
Yeah.
Tyler Pappas. Tyler the Pappas. Papa de Beppo. Great restaurant.
How'd you know my middle
nearby.
name?
What's that?
How do you know my middle name? It's Tyler the Pappas.
I had it here in the notes. We've been doing a lot of research on you, a lot of digging. I seriously can't believe this. I have just gonna get it out of the way now. Oh my God, it's Tyler. This is an incredible opportunity. I'm so excited to have you here. I've been telling Q from day one. I was like, we gotta get Tyler on because this is the dude. One of the guys that actually,
I don't know why we keep getting all these big shots on the show. How
It's
much
crazy.
money are you bribing these people with?
well, I've been a member
actually
since
take diamond
day
blocks.
one, so
Look at that. That's very true.
I put in my.
You guys
my
got the
dollars.
join button? We're going to get a join button on the channel real soon for all y'all as well.
Oh, really? Wow.
Ooh.
I thought you should have said I accidentally pressed the wrong join button. It was in the wrong button. It's here now though.
That's right. Anyway, yeah. Hey, Tyler, Log.zip.
That's me.
You're here. It's such a thrill to have you here. I've been a fan for a while, but also you really did. You were a big inspiration for me just a couple of years ago, getting in to the YouTube content creator game. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say today about your history and about everything that you've been doing. So, but Q is the one who has the first question, so I want to hand it off to him.
First question. Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, before we get into the first question, what do you call it? Imperative? Is that the correct grammatical term?
Hold on. Is this going to be anything like the trivia branch?
Yes, exactly. In
no.
1945.
Oh, no.
Listen, man, before we get into anything, why don't you give a short, brief rundown of who you are, what you do, for those of I think there's about 3 kids who don't know your name yet.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I guess general breakdown, looking at it more front-facing, I play video games all day. The video game of my choice happens to be Minecraft, and so we've got a few different channels at this point on YouTube that we run. My original Logdotzip channel. We've got a Minecraft Pocket Edition channel. We recently launched a channel for Minecraft Dungeons, and we're currently in the process of expanding our production team so that we can open more and more channels. And then more these days, we've been kind of leaning into game development with the Minecraft Marketplace, and that's been exciting as well. But yeah, ultimately what I do is I shriek into a mic all day. So I'm going to try and be tame for this one.
Good description.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Okay, so as we do every week, we do a bunch of research, which is basically like, hey, darling, I got to go do research on my show. YouTube.com. Watch video after video after video. On your
best
website,
kind of research.
This is kind of like, I read about this, but I want you to kind of give the official word on it. Is I looked up what your name Log.zip came from. which comes back way back before Minecraft. Why don't you explain where that comes from?
Okay, so anyone out there who is a Yu-Gi-Oh fan will maybe this will resonate with them a little bit. So, oh yeah, way back when I was probably, gosh, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old. Just an innocent lad on the internet when I'm age 8, not getting in any trouble whatsoever. One of my favorite go-to things to do was post on message boards. Just forum communities, find like-minded people, and I was super into Yu-Gi-Oh at the time. So I would join these Yu-Gi-Oh message boards, kind of like Reddit for those that are message boards even a thing anymore?
A message board.
I know, much. That's sad. Yeah. It's the saddest thing.
It's kind of like YouTube without a video.
Right. It's the comment section. Except people are somewhat decent, or at least pretended to be. Mm-hmm. I joined a whole bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh message boards, and I remember one of the Yu-Gi-Oh ones I joined, the owner of the website's username was Lord Obelisk, and that is a monster from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, Obelisk the Tormentor, which is one of the god cards, aka one of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, and there was 3 of them. There were 3 different god cards, and 8-year-old Tyler, well, not only did he love Yu-Gi-Oh, but he wanted to be in charge of everything. Who'd have thought? And so I said, I'm 8. I want my own message board. And it's going to be better than this guy's. He's just Lord Obelisk. Well, I'm going to be Lord of Gods. Lord of the God cards.
Wow,
Lord of Gods. That's right. Lord of the God cards. And so that became my moniker for years and years and years. And people started to understandably take it the wrong way. They thought I was talking about something other than Yu-Gi-Oh God cards. And so the nice, pleasant boy I was like, well, I don't want to offend anybody. Wasn't too pleasant, by the way. And I shortened Lord of Gods down to LOG. Log. Now, there was I know, it's such a nice bell, huh? Log, just a piece of wood, stump on the floor. Well, that's what everyone calls me now.
Yeah, log.
But the other thing is, on that forum, there was a trend where you could change your display name really to whatever you want. So people changed their display name and then added a period and then a zip to the end of their username. So if someone's username was Mary, it would be Mary period zip. And so mine was log period zip. And I started playing a video game called RuneScape, probably when I was, I don't know, 11.
RuneScaper.
Yeah, that's right. That's where all the best ones started.
I think that's true. It seems like all these successful YouTubers who are Minecraft started in RuneScape.
Yeah,
breeding grounds for success.
Yeah,
but you can't put periods in the usernames on RuneScape. So log period zip became Logdotzip.
That's
beautiful.
Quite a story.
What was with the zip though? I don't get the.
I don't remember, and I think there was even it's a zipped file. I think it's some kind of file extension. You know what it was actually? It's been so long. It's been, 16 or 17 years since I devised that username. I think it actually started with .exe, executable file name, and that's what it was. That's what it was. I was originally log .exe, and so that was my first RuneScape username. And fun side fact, right? I used to walk around in RuneScape, and people would call me a hacker because they thought that my username was a keylogger, log.exe. So they thought I had logged their password. Ironically enough, I ended up getting hacked, and someone stole my password, and so I kept with the same username, and I was like, well, what's the closest thing to an exe? It's like, well, what do exe files normally come in? And at the time, they came in zip files. Yep. So it was log.zip.
So we'll just scratch the entire first explanation and replace it with the new one. Well, and it's appropriate, right? You've got so much, a log file. It records everything that's happening and all the channels that you have. You are like a compressed folder of everything that's going on in the Minecraft world. Dungeons, like Bedrock Pocket Edition, Java Edition, like everything that's happening is all over all of your different channels. How many channels did you say you have? 4?
I have 4. We've got 3 that are currently active, and we've got a couple more in the pipeline. But that all just depends on. It depends on a lot of things. I'm sure we'll touch base on at some point. Yeah. But yeah, the goal is to have a handful more channels before the end of the year.
Cool. Wow. When is .zip coming back?
Oh gosh, that's a soft spot for me.
We were supposed to ask that question.
That's good. The long, boring answer. I should say the short, boring answer is the different factors that went into the production of that channel proved to not be financially viable in the YouTube space currently. And so if we ever wanted to bring that channel back, it would take some serious retooling of the direction we would be taking the content. Yeah. It's just hard to grow it's hard to grow variety channels these days. You kind of need to find a niche and do your best to own it in some way or another.
Totally.
And I happen to actually be boring. I'm secretly really boring. And so variety gaming channel didn't work how I wanted it to. No. But people seem to put up with me when I play Minecraft.
Yeah. It works. There's something about it that's magical. But
Thanks,
I feel that. Though. The variety, I've always wondered that, and I've asked a few other people that we've had on the show, like, would you do variety gaming again? And some of them have said, like, yeah, because that's what I want to do. But it has to be different for you because you're not just Tyler Pappas. It's not just you. You have a team of people that work for you, and so you've got to think about, like, is this financially sustainable? Is this going to work out for everybody who's here? All that type of stuff. But we'll get into all that maybe a little bit more.
I should have said this earlier to our audience. Unfortunately, if you're not on YouTube, you're not going to see this. But this right here, this guy right there, the entire reason I have this is because of the man here in this episode. I think it was back in Skype days. I was like, I need a mic. My mic sucks. What mic do I use? And you said, I use the AT2020.
I think I remember
and
this.
I'm like, that's what I'm using then. $180 later, bam, Amazon delivered to my house. I just recently figured out how to put noise gates on it for this show. That's how long I've been playing with it.
Wow. Congratulations, you old man.
Oh, so...
Yeah, I mean, I remember you were even in a couple of videos with me, Q. Or at least one or two where we covered diversity together.
Could not believe
he was my fill-in for a friend of mine that used to play with me a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, he's my fill-in on this show. So
YouTube audience I've ever got was on your channel.
You're welcome.
I was actually pretty nervous. I was like, man, these people are not gonna like me. Like, this is the guy who...
You should have heard he was doing his makeup. We didn't even have webcam on at the time. I didn't get it. I was like, why?
No. I was going to ask about webcam, but before getting to webcam, just going back, we talked about your name. I am curious what your skin is. Where did you come up with that? What exactly is that thing on your head? And by skin, I'm talking about your Minecraft skin, not
right. Skin. Yeah, this stuff. Well, it's stretchy. Sometimes it expands when I eat too much. Yeah. My Minecraft skin is actually a recreation of my RuneScape character's skin, and outfit and armor. So funny breakdown, right? The headband, that's Seer's Headband 3 from RuneScape. The chest area, that is Varrock Plate Armor 4. The leg part of my skin, that's mining breeches perhaps. I don't know, it's UK gaming, you know, the weird pronunciations. I'm wearing flame gloves, dragon boots, and amulet of fury. That's
and
right,
don't
mess around.
Saved you from dying into the void in Minecraft.
They never seem to. But that was basically my RuneScape character just kind of translated into a game by a friend of mine.
Yeah, that's very similar. When we had Ant Venom on, he was saying the same thing. Yep. And I think he said Sky made it for him or whatever, but it was his RuneScape skin. I'm like, I've never played this game. That's my problem. That's why I'm not famous, super popular. I just
funny thing, the Void Frogs, right? So Ant Venom's armor is actually called Void Armor, Void Knight Armor. That's what his.
Why didn't he tell us that?
Really? He wears Void Knight Armor as his outfit on his skin.
Guy.
Missed opportunity. Come on, Hank Venom. Come on, Hank.
Jeez.
Did you tell you about Hank Venom too?
Yeah. Delete his interview off our
the whole
channel
thing.
Right now.
Get out of here.
Hey, when's the Helm server coming back, eh? Come on, bring it back.
Why are you doing this to me? You put me on the spot, man. That was it.
It's
That
the
was
number
an
one
experience.
question we get every week.
Yeah.
Get Logdotzip on here. Ask him when we get the Helm server back up.
I try and block out certain parts of my past.
There goes half the
Trying to
energy.
run a server successfully was one of those.
Yeah,
It's tough.
It's tough, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Needs pointers.
But go ahead.
Well, no. But please.
Stifler's the server guy. I was gonna say
I
tell
could
him
just jump in
to
and
do
start
it, how to do
getting
it.
geeking out.
Well, I was gonna say it was an interesting experience trying to run a server, having never really run a server in the past, nor knowing how to run a server. It was me at the time doing what I could to leverage my audience to try and kickstart an entirely new project that I thought would be fun. Obviously, there was financial opportunity involved before a whole lot of that EULA stuff was, really actively blowing up, and so.
Yeah.
There was gray area that I sought as opportunity to act on so that I could continue to see through my means of wanting to be financially independent and still get to play video games all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it didn't end up working too well, but it was a great learning experience.
Definitely. I think people should definitely consider making YouTube video so that they understand what that process is like, because frankly,
Running
a lot of
server,
people are like
making
"What?
maps.
Why aren't you? Make a map.
Hacking the FBI. What other things should they consider doing?
And
just for
maybe
learning
not
experience.
the FBI thing, but
Liking and subscribing.
Yeah,
That was
liking
bad.
and subscribing. That's
That
a
was
good,
the bad idea.
great
It's liking and
experience.
subscribing. Consider it.
And running a there it is.
Hit the bell.
The bell,
hit
the
us
magic
with
bell.
You gotta get notified,
Yeah.
I'm just like salivating. I'm like, is that dinner now?
Got some pumpkin seeds if you want.
Yeah.
Pumpkin
hey.
seeds? Is that the diet?
There's some carrots or something over here behind me.
Oh wow! I'm
anyway.
more of a beetroot kind of guy, to be honest.
Again, like before we started the show, Steph was like, don't say anything visual for the audio people. Oh, by the way, there's carrots behind me. Yeah.
People audio
breaker of
only
his
might
own.
think that there's just a table of carrots like behind.
He's
you.
actually on a farm right now.
I'm sure they wouldn't think anything if you didn't mention it.
For shame.
They are orange with
great.
anyway. Okay. First time I believe I had ever heard of you, and maybe this was when you started really making an impact, but you can explain this because my main question in this is, when did you start I don't know if blowing up's the right word, but getting noticed. But the first time I saw your name was when you did the video on the spheres in Minecraft.
Yep.
Is that what? Because you've got like 3 million or almost 4 million views on that video.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your view count, and it's like, it's decent. I don't know how many people went back and watched it, but then all of a sudden this thing, millions of views. Is that kind of what just launched you out there?
That's what kind of made me realize the ceiling that YouTube possessed with respect to viewership. Before, it never really occurred to me to try and cater to audiences I hadn't cultivated. Right, it was about making videos solely for my subscribers, and
Right.
while I still do that, it's now more about making sure the videos I'm making for subscribers are things that I also derive joy from, but that more importantly will allow me to tap into an audience that has never heard of me. And so unbeknownst to me at the time, I had just found an interesting concept map. Actually, I think it was by Killer Creeper 555, which I believe is a South American YouTuber, if I'm remembering correctly, non-English Minecraft channel, and they had created this concept map with a bunch of command blocks, and it was minecarts holding blocks, and I guess you could position minecarts to be directional, and so it was like 1,000 minecarts with glowstone blocks riding inside of them, forming a sphere. And I simply made a video kind of covering the concept. I built a little lab around it, had a very short 20 to 30 second skit at the top of it, and again, unbeknownst to me, I guess it was a meme, or people were actively searching spheres in Minecraft, a ball in Minecraft. And so what I didn't realize at the time was that I probably tapped into this high interest search term. All I took it as is, they must have loved the German accent I faked for the intro. Let's do more of that. And so my next
Yeah.
20 videos all sounded like I had a German accent. I'm just kidding. But that was probably my first banger hit, yeah. And I would say that was in 2013 or maybe 2014. I don't know, command blocks were slowly getting more and more innovation added to them. The syntax continued to evolve to allow for more creative use. I wouldn't say that's where I took off, but I would say that was probably one of my first viral videos where I started to learn, like, hey, you can go viral. My initial takeoff was around, I think around early 2014. And that was when I had a couple different things going. That was right around when I started doing another popular or former popular show, right, on the channel, Only One Command. And then that was also when I did a series called Robot Wars.
Uh-huh.
Let's see how much studying you really did.
You had different Minecrafters as little armor stands.
Okay.
See, right? Yeah.
Right,
You put me on the spot, man. Tell you.
And that was right. We all only operate within the bubble or the vacuum that we were in at the time, and I was in a bubble and vacuum where I realized, hey, if I tag other successful YouTubers' usernames in videos, that will allow me to tap into the traffic. So I had Robot Wars, and I added, the Diamond Minecart skin at the time, facing off against, I think, his in-game sidekick, Dr. Treoris, and that video blew up, and I was like, wow, this is an easy video to continue to scale outwards. All I really have to do is change the skin on the armor stand and then change the dialogue showing what username was there. So then I did popular MMOs, and so you could say, in one respect, it was, there was a bit of coattail riding there, but you could say in another respect that I was perfectly allowed to do it, defending myself over here. And that really helped to propel the channel that in tandem with the Only One Command, which in and of itself was kind of this new phenomenon, entire new content upgrades for the vanilla experience that only required a copy paste.
Yeah, it's interesting because you did a lot of parkour when you started. I never understood parkour, but like in terms of funness. But you've kind of held on to a lot of command blocks, which you don't see that very commonly with popular YouTube Let's Players. They are, especially with like Hermitcraft and stuff, they're mostly about nice looking builds. You've somehow been able, which is nice for me because I'm a command blocker, but you've somehow been able to take the command block, make it entertaining, and still bring your audience with you.
Right.
Is there, why is that not hitting a lot of other channels? I don't, or maybe we don't know why. I just found it interesting about your videos that.
Well, I think it ultimately, if we look at it kind of in the greater scheme of things now, what we're seeing is the platform and the tertiary industry that Minecraft has developed, where YouTubers now have small businesses and can hire on people. We're seeing a lot more quote unquote command block developers popping up, working for other YouTubers, in some respects working for marketplace teams. There's an inherent value associated with being able to take the syntax of the game and use it to develop out content. And so there's still some of that happening these days, but I think one of the really useful things about command blocks or ultimately just programming is you can kind of do whatever it is you want to do with it. And so one of my tasks as a content creator is to make sure that I'm always capable of ideating on what's currently happening, what's next, and how I can meld my previous successes in with my new content strategies, and more importantly, to scale. Right? I think I've done about 3,500 videos over the course of my time on YouTube.
Yep.
Right. Give or take. And the beauty of command blocks is it solely falls to the creative. I can work with my team to say, I want to make this, and because we're not necessarily relying on the core game of Minecraft any longer, we're relying on our ability to extrapolate that outwards using command blocks, block models, textures, etc. I basically have an infinite source of subject matter and material that I'm able to grab from by not needing to rely on just the vanilla Let's Play experience or hardcore mode or covering builds. I can do whatever I want, and that's an excellent framework to have because it also allows me to tap into what other people are searching for at a moment's notice. As an example, right, people are always searching when a game update comes out. There's a new update for Minecraft. They'll type in Minecraft 1.16, Minecraft update, Minecraft news, Minecraft snapshot. And so by having this development team, I get to create content that lets us, we'll call it, not that it's illegal, but like legally tap into those search terms. When we make our own updates, I'm technically creating Minecraft updates, right? And so we get to tap into all of those people searching for updates because we're making our own. And so that allows our videos to propagate across the platform. And so command blocks are just an excellent way to scale channel. And they're also a really cool way to be the only source of a certain type of content, right? You can only find videos like mine on my channel. Yeah. Right? You can find lots of Let's Plays across the board that share a lot of similarities, but for the most part, my content is home only to where I let it sit.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, not only that, you might see other YouTubers, Let's Players, hardcore builders who do the tutorials and stuff. They might come out with, say like an April Fool's Day update to the game or something once in a while. But yeah, it is very, very rare. In fact, you may very well be the only one. You're the only one I can think of that is able to almost create a variety channel within Minecraft, right? Like you are, what kind of to answer Q's question from my own perspective, I have this thought that Minecraft is starting to mature as I liked your phrase, your words, tertiary industry. Minecraft is starting to mature into its own industry, right? Like we're seeing that now 11 years in. And so for a long time, people saw Hermitcraft, SMP Live, The Deep End, and they see all these different SMPs, How to Minecraft SMP, like they see all of these things and they're like, I want to do that. I want to be that. And so they're going into it. But now, hopefully, we're starting to see people like yourself who are saying, no, like, I don't want to stay within rules of this is how a Minecraft YouTube channel should be. This is how Minecraft should be played. This is the restrictions that you need to keep on yourself in order to not be, I don't know, seen as an outsider. I have no idea. There's accusations. You've heard them all. But you've actually said, no, I'm gonna break that box and I'm gonna step out of that box and use the tools that are in front of me. Minecraft isn't just a game; it's a development platform. I can code stuff. I can do commands.
The last
I can
three episodes, he's getting this point across.
It's
more than a game, people.
Because it's so important, right? To me, at least. Maybe you disagree, Tyler.
It's just a game.
Well, is Minecraft just a game?
Oh, no, not at all. It's funny. I actually, I had a conversation with the former COO of Mojang at dinner once, and we were talking about this exact thing, and we actually came to a disagreement where, I was trying to make the argument like, hey, this is more than just a game. It's a platform, and the other person, I don't want to necessarily say they weren't acknowledging that it could exist as that, but certainly that wasn't the direction they were necessarily trying to take the game. And I believe this conversation was either prior to the Microsoft acquisition or shortly after it, or perhaps in the midst of it. And, my estimation is that Microsoft is taking it more the approach of it being a platform. We're seeing all of these alternative monetization schemes coming into play, things like the marketplace. They're a company, right? Their blood is green, it's money, and one of the ways you can continue to guarantee the lifespan of a game is to position it in such a way that will allow its player base to continuously create content for it that will continuously breathe life into the game. So Minecraft lives through the fact that it can operate as a platform and that there is no real end time for it. Yeah,
totally. Listening to you right now, I do kind of want to jump back into your history a little bit more.
Sure.
Way back. You are clearly, from your answers, your big words, tertiary, exemplary, money. I don't know.
I have a dictionary over there.
Two whole syllables.
The best words you're using right now. You're an intelligent guy. You're intentional with what you want to do with your business and with your channel and with your creativity. But on YouTube, you're this wacky,
Hi
cool,
guys.
like,
You can check out this like drawl almost. It's almost like a different accent. This character.
Yeah, baby, what's good?
Yeah, baby.
We're here covering X, Y, and Z today.
Yeah,
it's
there it
it's
is.
a presenter. It's the presentation style, but don't let me interrupt.
No, well, so back in the day, you were very quiet. You were, hey guys, it's me.
Well, I can
Tyler.
answer this. His dad was on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
He didn't want to record in front of him.
Oh God!
I did do my
God.
research, didn't I?
Yep.
I got some videos to delete, I think. Oh boy, I'm sweating, guys.
Well, so when did that change? Was it a slow evolution over time, or did you just realize one day, I need to hype this up? I need to bring some energy into this.
Right. I would say it was a slow roll, and there was numerous different factors at play, and you learn as you go. So one of the big things I had opportunity to do was when I was playing RuneScape. I had run into numerous friends that after I had taken a brief hiatus from YouTube to go focus on college and things of that nature. While I was away, my former RuneScape friends, they eventually jumped to Minecraft, and I had started out playing Minecraft, I think, in early 2010, shortly after the move from InfDev to Alpha, I believe. Actually, shortly before the Halloween update came out, the super scary update or what have you. And so I had played it, and I had even made a Minecraft channel back in the day. It was called Minecraft, MEINCRAFT. I felt real clever getting that username. To this day, I get DMs from German YouTubers asking to buy the channel. Minecraft.
It's time for I'm introducing spheres on Minecraft. That's where it comes from.
So in my absence, right, I had seen a lot of my friends kind of evolve into the space, and one of them was Sky Does Minecraft. And when I left YouTube, I think he had 12,000 subscribers, and when I inevitably made my return 6 months later, he had suddenly ballooned to 800,000. And so I jumped into it at the time. Again, Minecraft was still in alpha, or at least in the early stages of development. There weren't things like command blocks yet. There weren't really servers yet. There was just a limited supply of content sources available for me to, for me who at the time wasn't, as willing to work as hard as I am now, nor as creative about what I've been given to, make content with. I was like, this is boring. So I left for another 6 months. And then Sky Does Minecraft in that 6-month time frame had gone from 800,000 subscribers to 4 million subscribers. Now, we had played RuneScape together, and we were close friends. And so he was in LA for a work event, and I happened to live close to LA at the time. He said, hey, come hang out with me. And he said, hey, dude, you really need to get back into this Minecraft stuff. There's tremendous opportunity here. You're good at what you do. Jump into it. There's a job in it. And so I started hanging out with him more. He put me in a couple videos here and there. I eventually went to PAX Prime, it was still called at the time, up in Seattle. And through him, I met, at PAX Prime, through Adam, I met numerous members of the Minecraft community. They were later to be known as Team Craft. One of the people that I met and had a conversation with one night during PAX Prime was with Ian Sunday, if you're familiar with Sunday, the YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And he said something very, very specific that really resonated with me from that day forward, which was that I said, how do you do it? How do you make your videos good? And he said, it's all acting. And I think that that's something that a lot of people are afraid to admit about YouTube. And I should say acting in the sense of exaggerating your personality or being willing to exaggerate your personality. I'm a hyperactive version of myself in my YouTube videos. I'm a little more fun, a little less, wordy. And when he said that to me, it kind of made me realize, like, people are on YouTube to either laugh or to learn, typically speaking, right? One or the other, it kind of encapsulates everything there is about YouTube. And so when he said, hey, just have fun with it, just, act, ham it up. It started to make sense. And when I saw someone that was so successful saying that to me, I was like, oh, he's probably on to something. So I started to amplify my persona. I started to watch my peers around me and see, well, when do they decide to shriek? When do they decide to scream? When are they silly? When are they goofy? And so I went from talking like this all the time and, hey, everybody, today I've got a video to show you. I was like, oh, that's boring. This makes people want to click away in all likelihood. And I was like, I was willing to, be a little bit louder. And part of that came with me moving out of my parents' house because I did have my stepdad on the other side of the wall here. And it's a lot easier for you to, scream at the top of your lungs when you now, are in control of the space you're in. But when I'm, 18 years old living at home, you get embarrassed, especially when you're 18 and there was no quote unquote future in this at the time. Yeah. I got a whole bunch of go get a job when I was younger, and rightfully so. The space hadn't evolved yet. My parents were looking after me. They're like, really gonna play video games? That's what you're gonna do? Okay.
But now you get to go, Mom, I'm playing video games. Mom, just by the way, I'm playing video games right now.
Right.
I'm going to go play video games, Mom.
I got stuff to do.
Mom, I'm playing video games.
Well, she loves it now because she's the cool.
She's so proud.
She's
of
the
her
cool
boy.
friend. All her friends' kids, well, I should say most, right? A good amount of them either watch or used to watch, and so now the kids' moms, Aunt Christy is the cool aunt because her son is Logdotzip. Yeah. It's funny. I was actually in Dallas over the weekend and got to meet some family cousins for the first time and found out that they are huge quote unquote fans of mine. And it's weird because they're family. It's family, so it's weird. Like to me, I'm just Tyler. So to see that barrier kind of broken with people that are in my more immediate circle is always weird to me. But at the end of the day, a lot of it's just you're on here to entertain, in my opinion, right? Entertain or teach. I have a healthy mix of both, I feel, on my channel, so it's just allowed me to concoct this ultimate persona that taps into everything I need to in order to see some moderate degree of success on the platform.
Yeah. Do you ever get anybody who like what do you call it when you run into your idol type thing? Like some kid walks up and you go, "Oh my gosh, that's Logdotzip."
I just did that about 20 minutes ago.
You ever get that?
I've had it happen a couple times in random spots. I had it happen when I was getting a haircut. I had it happen at the airport. I've had it happen at the airport a handful of times. Yeah. I remember a peculiar one. I was in line at a fast food restaurant in one of the airports, and I was on my phone, whatever, looking at whatever, waiting in line to put my food order in, and then I saw a gentleman behind me with who I assumed was his wife at the time. It was his wife, and they kept inching closer and closer to me. This is pre-COVID, right? So it was okay to be right up against someone's back. Yeah. But they just kept getting closer and closer to me, and I kind of felt uncomfortable. Yeah. But I was just paying it no mind. I ended up, putting my order in, then going and standing by where you get all the napkins and stuff, and then, my girlfriend at the time, I was like, "Hey, do you see how close that person was to me?" And then as I was turning to tell her that, I see the gentleman walking over to me. He's walking over. He's got his phone out, and on his phone is my YouTube channel. and he says to me, he's like, "Hey, I have a weird question."
Yeah.
and so we talked a little bit.
Please tell me you said, "No, I get that all the time, not him."
not terribly often because I don't have webcam in all of my videos. We're working on that actively, but it was weird. It ended up being a father who watched my channel with his kid all the time, and so he knew me because he cares about his child, and one of the things his child liked is to watch my content, and so it was just an interesting experience because normally I'm approached by younger people, and so it was kind of this breaking of a barrier for me. Like, wow, even some parents are familiar because they are co-viewers.
Yeah. Man, I honestly think that's a great thing. I was teaching at some after school clubs, and I loved hearing from parents who were getting more involved with their kids playing Minecraft, and because it's not, again, it's not just a game, but like parents are, I don't know, it's different. When I was a kid, I played games, and like you were saying, like it's like stop playing the game, you get a half hour a day, or you're
right
every other day or something. Now parents are actually like playing with their kids a lot more often, or sending them to Minecraft clubs and after school programs, and then messaging me and saying, hey, like I want to learn more about this, can you teach me more so I can be cool around my kid? And I love seeing that. Now, a lot of your audience is younger, but
that would be my guess.
What's that?
That would be my guess. Yeah, I mean, all the younger ones, they by and large lie about their age. So my metrics say lots of different things. Yeah. Going by metrics, actually, my biggest audience is age 25 to 38. So hi all out there.
It could be true. It could be true. Hey. I've heard that the average age of Minecraft player is in their 20s. So could very well be true. But then
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm also curious.
Hey, my son watches you. Okay, so there you go. No. He's
I'm so sorry to hear.
I said, you know who I'm talking? You know who I'm talking to later? So I said, Logdotzip. You know him? He goes, yeah. Okay.
That's it.
That was his response.
That's good. Phasing out. Good for you.
9 years old. There's your demographic. Hey, listen, he watches you more than me, so there you go. You already got stole my son from me.
I'm going to begin the slow roll of the brainwashing.
Do it.
Clean your room. Clean your room.
Oh, okay. If you do that, you're getting #1 viewed in my family.
Perfect. There's a diamond block in it for you.
That's
we were talking about the parkour stuff a little bit ago. Yeah. And you did a lot of that.
Right.
You haven't really done that in a while, have you?
No. I think it was funny. There was actually a point I wanted to make when you were talking about kind of me doing what I can to not operate within the box, or maybe that's perhaps my paraphrasing of, sure. I'm going to choose what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I view it more as I do as much as I can while still operating within the box that's been provided for me. And so I've essentially found my niche, and that is talking about Minecraft releases, aka updates, and then to an extent making my own, right? There's a lot of theory crafting. I make my own updates. Like we just had a video go up a couple days ago where we updated the Void in Minecraft. We made a way
put
for
frogs in it, right?
Hey, that's the sequel.
Yes.
But wait. That's my niche. I'm the update channel / command block channel. Although Zasuma, he's coming for me, and one could say he's even surpassed me with the snapshot stuff, because you do keep up with your peers in that respect. But that is kind of my niche. And so what I saw is when I would look at the metrics and the algorithms at play, and as we see YouTube continue to evolve as a platform, the videos that YouTube wants its creators to feed it, those needs shift. And so I saw when I would do a parkour video, those videos would underperform relative to the other types of content I would make. And it used to be quantity. It used to be upload as much as possible, because that was how YouTube propagated videos across its platform. Now it's more of command a niche so that the majority of the audience you've cultivated on your channel watches it, because that is oftentimes indicative to YouTube of if your video is quote unquote good. They've basically been able to hyper focus in on what constitutes a good video by measuring metrics associated with the performance of said video. So when I did parkour, I would look, and my average views for that would be lower, and that's because the average watch time of the content was lower, and the click-through rate of it was lower, because there's less ways to creatively ideate on what the title of such content would be, and because I'm not the best at parkour. You could argue I'm not great at command blocks either, in that I don't know a lick of code, but I know how to hire developers that can bring my visions to life. And so as a result of that, I'm one of the top command block channels, you could say. So I would say... I was going to
ask you that. I was going to say, how proficient are you with... Well, okay, let's put it this way. Pretend you're not a YouTuber, but you've got your Minecraft skills.
Right.
What is your forte in Minecraft?
Presentation.
Are you going to build the big building and then talk about it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm going to talk about someone else's big building.
You're going to talk about someone else's big build. I was hoping one time I did this pig explosion thing.
Oh, gosh.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't even know what that one was.
I was curious, what if you made a command block contraption is what I really...
I've made the most simple of command block contraptions, and I was a little bit more proficient with it earlier on because it was either do it yourself or it wouldn't be done because there was just less appetite for it. There was less people messing with it as command blocks came out. It was more simple stuff like running a small command to, place a chest minecart slightly but mostly inside of a block so that if you right click it, it looks like there's a container aspect of the block. So we would put a chest inside of an oak plank, and so it would be a hidden chest, and that took like one command block to make. And so I'd make a quick video on that. Right, exactly.
One command.
Yeah, I would say that is the inherent, value of my channel is I'm good at demonstrating all of the creative and unique things you can do with Minecraft. You could say I'm a jack of all trades, but I'm a master of taking unique concepts and packaging them in a digestible format.
And bringing cool people in. You've worked with McMagestein. You've featured a ton of different creators.
Creatures.
Yeah, some of them are real monsters.
Yeah.
Right. I remember you screaming at Nico repeatedly.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've been able to bring together a lot of really cool people. So now I'm gonna get probably more personal than I've ever gotten than we have ever gotten on this channel before.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah.
Get ready for it.
Don't. No, anything but that.
What makes you happy with YouTube? Why do you do YouTube and Minecraft?
I do YouTube because it is a pleasure to be able to enjoy what you do for a living more than it is not. So I consider it a success. I consider me to be very fortunate that 360 days out of 365, I at the least like what I do, right? Most days I love what I do. Well, I should say a plurality of the days I love what I do. And then there's a big chunk of those days where I like what I do. And then everyone's got those handful of days where I'm like, ugh, I don't want to get out of bed today. Today sucks. And so YouTube is beautiful for me because it started out as a passion of mine. Right, there was no money in it initially. Yeah. I was, I guess you could say I'm introverted by nature. I'm capable of quite the facade these days because by nature of what I do for a job, I kind of have to at least be able to be front facing and outwardly social. But I'm a homebody. I like hanging out on the couch, and so. What I love about this is that I've successfully been able to take something I'm super passionate about and provide myself financial stability through it. I love YouTube because I get to like my job most days and put food on the table to the point where I don't have to worry. And I also get to bring other people into the fold. I have a staff of 10 right now, essentially full time. We're in the middle of hiring a handful more people. It's a real operation. We've got technically 3 companies, formally, established, and it's beautiful to be able to do what you love and love what you do, and that's my favorite thing about YouTube is I'm literally doing what I love, and if you can say that you're doing that, and you are lucky enough to get paid enough to do it, then boy, you hit the jackpot.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, speaking of what you love. Remember I said I'm going to poke you a bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you about MNU.
Uh-oh.
That series had so much work into it. Is that the most you've ever put into a channel or into a video series?
So we've got a couple things that are currently under wraps that we're actually about to see surface to, the surface on the channel in the near future. But outside of those things that are on the horizon, I would say MNU was certainly one of the most complicated and thought out pieces of content we've ever done. And it was exciting, and it was certainly a detachment from what I was used to doing as a content creator, and it was fun, but it was very complicated.
Yeah, it looked like the views were kind of going, and I thought it was so cool because it brought me back to
Minecraft Mondays.
Yes. What was his name?
Bebop Box.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna ask you that. What's an inspiration? And then I'm like, oh man, that's so cool. Like, because we don't have any shows like that. You were like the guy to bring it back, and
we liked it. And what we found was, there was a lot of positives in developing it because it was my first time I essentially created a show format that was scalable. There was a framework, there was a skeleton, it was a machine. We would plug in, essentially bullet points, and then the video would kind of create itself because we had 5 different segments, and we knew each episode, even though all of the subject matter was different, it all fell within these certain, sub-verticals. It's talk about developer tweets, talk about what the community's up to, talk about what the community's up to, talk about the latest mods, do a community challenge, things like that. And so it was also my first experience in really delegating. This was shortly after I started having, actual production staff outside of, editors. I had a writer who in some ways also acted as a producer. I had a camera person, right? I had graphics. I had all these things. And so interestingly enough, fun fact about MNU, those were every time I read the script and was in front of the teleprompter was the first time I was essentially reading the content of that week. So we had someone doing all of the research for me and choosing, like I said, here, choose from these 5 different categories, get me 10 things for each category. And so we would just run the prompter and I would just do hot reads of it, and we would, rewind the prompter if I messed up a line. And the reason we would do cutaways to, the ancillary graphical content was because I could only memorize so much of the script at once because for a long time we didn't have a prompter at all. And so we would do the cutaway so that I could read portions of the episode. And that just made everything flow a lot more smoothly.
Those little tricks, they come in handy.
Yeah. We ended up stopping MNU because really just budget. We were losing money on every episode. It was taking a collective 25 to 30 man hours to create every single video. Wow. Compared to gameplay video, which might take 6 to 8 between editor, concept, my time, of course. And it was taking 300% more hours, and it was only making us, maybe 40 to 60% of the revenue. So it just came down to, I wanted to make it work, but we were losing money on it, and I didn't have enough coffers built up to, see it through. Nor did we really have any long-term projection of what our goal was for it. Like these days, we kind of develop our frameworks of like, where are we taking this? Where's the long-term value here? That's kind of hard to position as being a gaming channel because ultimately I'm using a different company's IP, right? I don't own Minecraft. I'm basically a huge cheerleader for Minecraft. I get to make money on the side of it, but the real winner in some sense, I should say the biggest winner is Microsoft or / Mojang. They're happy to let me get ad revenue in return for being part of the reason their game is alive. A small part, but a part nonetheless.
Mojang is also very smart with their releases. They're timing the last 2 years and before that, but the last 2 years especially. Last year, 10-year anniversary, they had the map. 1.14 was released. They broke the record for most sold game in history. They announced, or did they announce? There was some kind of a big announcement. What was it?
I think it was Minecraft Earth was right around then.
Yep, Minecraft Earth. Yep. They released Diversity 3.
Lots of things.
No, they didn't. Q did, though. Q did. There was so much going on last year. This year, they broke 200 million sales. 11-year anniversary. 1.16 is right here. We're around the corner.
Minecraft's dying, guys.
Minecraft Dungeons is released. They are smart. with hitting these waves like every year, and I'm loving it. I'm like, man, yeah, let's keep hitting those waves. Having a snapshot season is a really cool idea.
And I think it honestly it changed the structure of how a lot of games today, structure their release cadence. We see the slow trickle of content through games like Fortnite, as a major example, where it's this give the vessels that continue to propagate interest in the game, the YouTubers, the creators, the influencers, give them something to latch to so that our game is always in the headlines.
Yeah.
There's always something new to talk about with Minecraft. It's fantastic.
Totally.
Q, you kind of jokingly were saying Minecraft is dead, and I would say it never died, right? But there was certainly a lull I believe 2015, 2016, we were seeing a lot of the household big Minecraft creators on the platform. They were kind of aging out. Those were the years
we didn't have diversity maps, is what it is.
Hey, I'm with you on that one. And seriously, to that point, there were a lot of map makers that were getting burnt out on doing content. There were a lot of YouTube creators that, as a result of the map makers getting burnt out, were getting burnt out on trying to figure out their own content. There was a lot of, I don't want to do this forever. I'm going to try something new. Let me hitch my cart to a different horse. And they come to find that Minecraft is such a huge brand to have the opportunity to leverage that they took it for granted when they tried to do something else, jump to something else. And, that in tandem with Fortnite was just coming out as well. Yeah. And so...
what? What's that? Fort?
Right, the F word.
Bleep that out.
and so what I saw is that just a lot of the first wave viewers were also aging out. So not only were the creators getting burnt on making maps and making videos, but a lot of the younger audience was starting to get to the Minecraft is no longer cool phase. And there was definitely a moment of time where that was a thing for a large swath of the player base, right? Because it comes in generations, essentially. And what I come to find was that Minecraft had its explosive rate of growth that I believe peaked around 2013. And so you could maybe make the argument that at the time, the largest generation of people playing were around that preteen/teen age, around 2013. And so as people age out of the game and new 5-year-olds turn 6, new 6-year-olds turn 7 are introduced to the game, still the largest core was this core that was in that Minecraft's not super cool phase anymore. And so we saw a huge decrease. And I honestly attribute a lot of the acquisition by Microsoft to, a revitalization of the game, because I feel as though, I personally feel as though, capital, money is a great driver of innovation and ways to increase longevity. And we saw that Mojang, and this is great in some respects as well, didn't let the money as effectively drive the operation, the vision, the projected future of Minecraft relative to Microsoft. And I understand why Microsoft have to do it. They have, I couldn't take tens of thousands of employees is my guess. They have bills to pay, right? They have to pay people. And so I don't see anything inherently wrong with needing to generate revenue, especially if you're doing it in a way where people are willing and accepting of relinquishing their money to you. And so by doing that, Microsoft was able to say, hey, we need to bring this game back from, in some sense, a very, very slow and mild free fall. Like, I didn't see any turnaround point for Minecraft until my perception is that Microsoft came in, took the reins, and developed a monetization strategy, marketing, pumping money in, pumping release, PR, press all the time, getting the creators more involved. Mojang was very much anti-creator in their early years. They said, hey, play our game, but we don't owe you anything outside of that. And while Microsoft doesn't owe us anything, they see inherent advantage and utility in, playing into their curators of content. And we're even starting to see love for the map making teams in the form of the marketplace. Like, they understand that it is in their advantage to develop an ecosystem that allows for people like me and others to build a life and a job around this. And as a result of that, Minecraft's got a way longer lifespan. Thanks, Microsoft.
Speaking of marketplace, I got two things left, okay? I don't know what you guys, Stifler, but we'll jump to this one here. You got a new thing coming out.
No way.
Give it a plug, brother. Or it's already
Okay.
out. Is it out or it's coming out?
We've got a couple that came out recently. We've got a new game coming up pretty soon here. Hopefully it passes through QA pretty soon. It's Arcade Dropper. It's a
Hey.
You drop a bunch of arcades. They smash
exactly
on the
very
ground.
heavy. It's quite violent. I'm just
Yes.
kidding, by the way. Don't drop arcade machines on people, kids. No, it's a voice acted themed dropper map around exploring numerous different dropper levels that take on. We have the Italian plumber level. We have the yellow pizza level. We
Hey.
have the
The one with the
we-
slice taken out of it?
Exactly. We've got all these fun creative takes on classic arcade inspirations and derivatives, and we've added in, mini games and collectible tokens to find, and that's going to be Arcade Dropper, and it's hopefully coming to the marketplace near you within
The
maybe
gorilla
30 to
throwing-
60 days, maybe.
Oh.
And outside of that, yeah, I mean, marketplace has been an interesting endeavor. We've got a few different projects up there. And it's been fun because I remember as a child, I used to fill front page to back page, these composition notebooks where I would draw my own video games. I would draw out levels, these 2D platformer levels. I would have character pages where I'd give traits and powers to all these things. And so the beauty of Minecraft in its current form, kind of as this platform, is like I get to make video games using Minecraft, and I get to foster a team that aids me in being able to make these games. And then, bonus, right? I get to make money doing it, and people want to pay me money to do it, and they get a sense of joy from what they paid as a result. So it's kind of this win-win-win across the board.
I really, really, really hope that over time, there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people complaining about content creators making money, map makers making money, command blockers making money, server owners, but I really hope that changes over time, because you're right. Like, clearly the marketplace is awesome. It's awesome that you get to release these maps, and the EULA just changed. So maybe you can bring the helm back now. So there's an update on
We
that.
already have the lawyers looking at it, I promise.
Do it.
Good.
All right, last thing before we go into our fun sections.
Oh boy.
Last year, about a little over 1 year ago, and this goes on about you being, I'm just a Minecraft guy. You actually were nominated as a finalist in the Shorty Awards as gaming. Wow.
Insane.
How many people? There was, 10 finalists?
Something like that.
It's
It's all a blur.
That's a pretty high feat. There's tons of gaming channels, and you were one of the ones that got picked.
Yeah.
Describe how that
Crazy.
felt.
It was an utter shock, to be honest, because although I do my best to not do it, I think we all from time to time fall guilty of keeping up with the Joneses. And one thing I can look at, because a large part of my career is placed on bar graphs and line graphs, and so you can almost at a moment's notice see the current trajectory of my success by looking at an analytical page. And what I've seen is that a lot of the peers around me have crazy engagement rates, and because I'm more of this presenter, commentator, you could even say, and I've said before, host. I'm more of a host than I am anything else. I can ham up, but I'm really great at showcasing things. And so it is harder to cultivate a fan audience around a host/presenter value versus someone who just happens to be super charismatic and just lovable and attached toable. So I was super surprised that this host was nominated for this award alongside a whole bunch of more traditional personalities who had more engaged audiences as a result of the way they opted to shape their online persona. It was crazy. I went to New York. I wore a fancy suit. I got to meet some other awesome creators. And I even got to go up on stage.
There's like A-list celebrities there.
There was a couple, I got to meet Kevin Love, who is an NBA star. I met Terry Crews,
Nice.
Old Spice, amongst other things.
Yep.
Sean Evans, right? Is that him from Hot Ones? Did I get that right?
I think so. I think so.
I believe so. Yeah, and it's cool, and it's cool to see this platform evolve. And so it used to be YouTubers. You could joke that YouTubers finally made it onto the celebrity alphabet list. We're kind of like D-list celebrities. If I were to be
Give it time, man. Give it time.
super modest,
My kids do not watch TV; they watch YouTube.
Right. Well, it's
that's
certainly interesting times. But the interesting part is I got to go up on stage and help help accept the award I didn't win alongside the winner.
Yeah.
But funny story with that. So I had a chance to talk with the winner, Gaming with Jen, and she was there with her then husband Pat, popular MMOs, and they were just there celebrating and just being a part of the experience. And we were mingling, and she said, I'm super nervous, and I said, I'm nervous too. I was like, but I want you to know you're gonna win. She's like, no, I'm not gonna win. I'm not gonna win. I was like, yeah, you're gonna win. She's like, if I win, she's like, I don't want to win. I don't want to go up on stage. If I win, will you come up with me and help me accept the award? I'm like, and I thought she was joking. I'm like, sure, but only if I win, you come up and help me. And she's like, okay, definitely. Yeah. And like the more I thought about it, I was like, she's joking, right? She's just kidding. I'm not gonna go up on there. And then they announce the nominees. They play the video, whatever. My name pops up, her name pops up. Lauren Z Side, I think a couple other people were up there as well. And they say the winner is Gaming with Jen. And she gets up, and the first thing she does right after she gets up at her seat is she looks over. She tries to find me at my table, and she says, Come on, get up. I forgot, right? Audio, some people aren't seeing me. Motioning over, right? Saying, come here, Tyler, get up on stage with me. And I'm like, what? and so I ended up doing it, and she spoke for about 10 seconds, and she then handed the mic to me. And I was like, oh gosh, what do I do? And so it was an opportunity for me to just, thank all of the people that are part of this community. It didn't matter that I didn't win the award. It was truly a victory for gaming creators as a whole to continue to see the industry further legitimized, whether it comes in the form of award shows or attention or press, or we're seeing a lot of this right now with a lot of the exclusive live stream grabbing that's going on from all the different platforms. Like gaming over the years is being further and further legitimized, not only as an acceptable way to spend your time, but as a job and a career option. And it's just really blown up. And to be able to have been up there on stage when ultimately I was never meant to be was a real honor, because it allowed me to express my gratitude for, those facts.
It's really solid. On that note, just before we go into the last segment, man, I think that it is important to remember that, like, this community has done so much to support yourself, as you just said, and all the rest of us. And if us creators, when any one of us wins, it truly does help all of us, because it's bringing more eyes into the platforms. It's bringing more people into the game. And so as others of us win and make our achievements and reach our milestones, that's a good way for us to know, hey, this community is healthy, it's strong, and there's a place for me in it. And that's always been for me a really encouraging
thing. A rising tide lifts all ships.
Amen.
Guys got words of wisdom. Loose lips sink those ships.
Oh yeah, that's why I keep my mouth shut these days.
Sorry. I took your positivity.
Logdotzip it.
Yeah.
Logdotzip it.
It's the new channel name. Just you sitting there, silence.
This is the part that sucks because I have all these things we didn't have time to go through.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Part 2?
All right, well, now we have a couple of little fun segments we go through. The first one is called...
what are we calling it? Fiery log.
Fiery log?
Oh,
fiery log!
Why am I being fired?
Fired log, rapid fire.
Yeah.
We'll put it in post. Okay, so anyway, we got 5 random questions for you. unrelated to anything. Just a little fun thing. We want to put you on the spot, see what you come up with, okay?
Hit me.
Question number 1. You have the power to give speech to one animal that is not your pet. What is it, and what is the first thing it tells you?
Minecraft pet or just
a real pet, but not a pet that you've had, like not your dog or whatever.
A sloth.
Sloth? What does the sloth say to you?
What's the rush, man?
Hey, chill. That sloth is chill, bro.
I have a friend that he always has his dress shirt nice and ironed, and he's always on time. And I said, I forget exactly what I said, which sucks because that's kind of the front of the story. But I remember him saying in response to me, "I never rush." And what does it mean to never rush? Well, it means that you've given enough preparation time in anticipation of whatever it is you're going to do to not feel the need to quickly throw together all of your responsibilities in shorter order than you might normally want to be given the appropriate amount of prep time for. By not rushing, you're giving enough thought to things that require that justified amount of thought. And so the sloth's real interesting because he doesn't appear to be in any rush, but he's got nowhere to be. There's no need for the rush. Unless he's being chased by, I don't know, cheetah or something.
Yeah.
Where do they live?
In South America?
Yeah, that's where they live.
Yeah.
Got to see that one.
Oh,
really?
Dude.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't even seen Finding Nemo.
Oh, my goodness.
I would tell you all the movies I haven't seen, but I don't know them.
Yeah.
This is never mind. We'll talk. We'll bring it up later. Later.
Yeah.
Thing. Okay. Question number 2 for you.
Number 2.
What is the greatest fictional invention of all time?
The greatest fictional invention of all time. It would be something I always wished I had when I played RuneScape. And so in RuneScape, you have the ability to take, the logs that you just chopped down from a tree, or the beef that you just got from killing a cow. And you can take it to the banks that are found in this game, and you can turn it into noted form. And so you might have 20 pieces of beef in your inventory, and your inventory is essentially full. You take it to a bank, you can turn that into a certificate, right? It's almost like $1 million in bills. Very difficult to carry around. A single $1 million check, super easy to carry around. And so what I always wanted in RuneScape was the ability for me to turn these items that I would be collecting on my adventures into these certificates that could fit in your character's inventory quite easily. You could stack it, right? Think of Totems of Undying, right? You can't stack those. Imagine if you could have a stack of Totems of Undying, right? You'd never die ever, so that'd be terrible for game mechanics. But
you'd have to constantly carry it around, though.
Yeah. So I wish, exactly. So I wish the greatest fictional item that could ever be invented would be the ability for me to turn my computer monitor that I'm seeing right now into a slip of paper that says 1 computer monitor. And then when I stick that through my certification machine, it turns into the screen wherever I need it.
That's
crazy.
Like those
That's actually cool.
Back to the Future where they go, "Oh, I'm just gonna rehydrate a pizza." Boop boop boop, and then the hot pizza appears in the.
Spy Kids did that too with McDonald's, I think.
Oh, really? You have?
Oh, yeah.
So you've seen that one? I guess you've seen the movies that count. All right.
Always.
Okay. Question 3. In an alternate universe, Logdotzip never existed.
Ooh.
Tyler Pappas never became a YouTuber. However, he did become very successful, even the top person in his field. What did Tyler become in this universe?
Lawyer.
A lawyer.
Whoa.
There's no hesitation there. Is there a little bit of a past in that? Is that just a fantasy?
Well, I like talking more than I should.
Yeah.
I like big words and confusing people. I like charging lots of money for my time. And I also like process and order.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents also wanted me to become a lawyer, and so I'm sure some of that, echoes through me as a child. And I was always a big fan of debate. I used to be in debate classes and do all that stuff. And I just love being able to come to logical, comprehensive, thought out, cohesive conclusions about things. I like understanding. I like learning. I like learning to understand, and I like understanding how to learn. And I see a lot of those traits in those who study the book of law. And actually, funny, close friend of mine, he used to be a fan of mine when I made RuneScape videos back in the day. And fast forward, 13 years later from when I started making my RuneScape videos, and he's now my attorney.
Wow.
Wow.
Wild. That's cool.
He used to watch me when he was 14 years old. I was 16 or 17, and then eventually added each other in game. And as I was building YouTube, he was building towards his bar exam, and he passed it, flying colors, and now he represents me and drafts some of my most important contracts.
That is cool.
Brilliant.
He's in the room right next to me.
Hey, if I ever move to Texas and you need a plumber, I'm your guy.
Hey,
So,
I need some C++ developers. I need modelers. I need scripters. You want to move? We will in all likelihood move you, Q.
Find you a job.
Plus.
Let's find you a position.
Q don't need me.
I love these answers. We're like learning. We're like
They're
actually
so-
learning more about you.
Well, it's nice to have an outlet
Yeah.
to be able to talk to peers closer to my age, we could say, about things that I truly enjoy talking about. Like, I love Minecraft, right? But
Yeah.
what I love more than Minecraft is being able to discuss the process by which I'm able to effectively utilize Minecraft in a way that mutually benefits everyone that is involved in my processes.
Yeah.
I don't usually have that because usually I'm, hey everybody, guess what we're doing today?
Yeah.
And that's fun, and there's a value in that, right? Making a difference, doing it in a positive manner. Like some of the people that currently work for me were originally inspired by my channel, and that's what got them into coding and development. And now I get to pay them. You know what I mean? It's cool to be able to do that, but it's always more fun to be able to have what I perceive to be those more mature conversations.
Totally agree. Great. Let's move on to the next question, because otherwise
Sorry,
we're gonna
I'm
have
sorry.
another hour of this talk.
Depth.
Goodness. Let's see.
Totally
Question
different than the
number 4.
last episode, eh, Stifler?
No, this is great, man. This is great. I love this. I can't go into it. I gotta stop.
Uh-oh.
Number 4.
Hold it back, Stifler. Question
4.
number 4.
Yeah.
What movie do you love that everybody you know hates?
Well, I love Napoleon Dynamite.
Doesn't everybody love that movie?
Lots of people, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not the best equipped for this one. What do I love that people hate?
I know mine. Sure.
Well, why don't you give me yours so I can kind of get the gear
I
spinning?
hate Mad Max Fury Road, and everybody loves that movie. I can't stand it. It's a dumb car chase scene.
I hate it too. There you go.
Yes! Thank goodness.
What do I love that people hate? Well, I was a big fan of Star Wars Episode 1, and Jar Jar Binks rubbed most of the world the wrong way, I guess.
Be true.
Huh.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you also hate Mad Max Fury Road, so what do you know? You know
Well,
what I mean?
Phantom Menace is way better than Mad Max Fury Road. Put that
Well,
on
I
the
can
clip,
give you
brother.
that. Uh-oh. We're going to start getting ats from Tom Hardy.
Goodness.
Let me see. A movie I love that other people hate. I don't know. That's a hard question for me. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's a great one, too.
I know, but I've run into lots of people that find the
don't like it?
storyline very hard to follow.
Yeah.
And so they get lost in that and they just tune out at the movie before it ends.
Question 5. I got bad news. YouTube has been deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Every video gone. Sorry.
Thank goodness.
It was a corporate decision. People are angry. Riots. It's really bad. But wait, there's a silver lining. YouTube is restarting.
Mm-hmm.
They've allowed one channel to exist based on democratic vote. Guess what? You've won. Wow. Because, people are so naturally easygoing. They vote, and they pick Logdotzip's channel. You're the only channel on YouTube to exist. What is your content going to be?
All ad revenue is yours.
Yes.
by the way.
Sick.
After all the advertisers have left, but all the ad revenue is yours.
Yep.
Gosh, it's weird. I would probably want to create content, and it's weird, right? Because this is something I'm still looking and planning to do in the future when I find a more appropriate time to do so. So I don't want to give away too much of what is ultimately something I'm looking to pursue anyways, but I would love to be able to focus on a kind of content. Now you see you taking notes. I'd love to focus on a type of content that is all around the breakdown of the structure of the day-to-day of industries, right? What, for example, I might say, Tim, what goes into a day of prepping for the Void Frogs? Q, what goes into a grind day on a map, right? What is the process? What's the breakdown? And that goes back to like the learning thing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a show that was on Food Network. It may still be called How It's Made. And it was hosted by Mark Summers, I think. Huh?
I've seen How It's Made with like they go into factories. I don't know about food. That's it. Yeah.
And so like you learn how Nutter Butters are made, or you learn how Pop Rocks are made. And that's always been interesting to me to see how this finalized product came to, because people, they see me make a Minecraft video. What they're not seeing is the tens and sometimes hundreds of hours that went into the thought behind it. And I think if people truly realize the level of effort that goes into so much of what encapsulates this world, they would be able to have true newfound appreciation for how impressive it is that this world manages to run.
Yep.
I am blown away that this podcast episode has been so thoughtful. I thought you were going to come on and just crack joke after joke. I want to be a video of...
Don't you follow Tyler Pappas?
Baby.
I told you, I'm not funny. They just put up with me. They just put up with me, man.
No, man, this has been awesome. I enjoy this very, very much. So, Q, you're gonna have to bring it back with more dad jokes.
Episode 2 for the Tyler Pappas YouTube channel, right?
That's right.
Sorry, what's that?
I said, and now you have lots of content to work on for the episode 2 for Tyler Pappas YouTube channel, right?
Another example of a channel that I wanted to make, but that the powers that be. It's like if I'm gonna have my editors edit content, it needs to be something that can help pay for the editors.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then you can do appearances on Void Frog, and we'll do the editing
anytime you want.
I'm happy to.
Speaking of, we actually have a final segment now. And since you said you would be happy to, well, we're going to give you the opportunity to be the new owner of the Void Frogs podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
So get ready for it. We have Void Frogs trivia coming up right now. There are 5 questions for you. There is a timer in my brain. And you have a certain amount of time to answer each one of these questions. And if you get all 5 questions correct, we swap
trade
channels
YouTube
with
channels.
you. Woo!
Wow.
Nice, eh?
Super good opportunity, huh?
I am so glad I didn't study.
I'm with you. I'm rooting for you.
You just said you would be happy. So, this is our gift to you, an opportunity. If you
I'm going to give you the best potential educated random guesses I possibly can.
Listen, we have had huge guests on the show like Logdotzip. Okay, it's only going up from here.
It's going up.
That's one way to look at it.
5 questions.
I think it's a very optimistic way. Okay, question number 1. Let's do this. Okay, now there's a time limit. All right. Mm-hmm. The category of this, by the way, is it's a log.zip actually. So as it turns out,
zip trivia.
Yep. Logs are found all over the place in Minecraft trees. 6 types of wood, but they can also appear in various non-tree places. Name 4 things other than trees where logs will naturally generate in Minecraft.
Sure. Villages. Shipwrecks.
2.
Woodland mansions.
3. Just one more.
And swamp huts.
Good deal.
Very
My
good.
man knows the game.
And Pillager Outpost.
Yep, Pillager Outpost would have been another one.
Oh,
Good job.
go.
You got 1 point on the board, sir.
Nice. Okay.
One step closer.
Look at me now,
Two.
Mom.
Going a little bit harder here. Question number 2 on Logdottzip trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Morse code is a method using an encoding a message used in encoding a message by performing a sequence of sounds or light signals known as dots. See what I did there? Or dashes. Dots are short bursts while dashes are longer signal durations. Letters and numbers have their own unique combinations. Famous example is SOS, which is 3 dots for the S, 3 dashes for the O, three more dots for dot 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 dot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So which letter of the alphabet is communicated by a single dot?
This is tough.
It's obviously not S or O.
It is a letter.
It is a letter.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
A.
Ooh.
It's a really good guess.
That's actually a
your
very
final
good
answer?
guess.
That is my final answer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Oh,
The answer is
no.
actually E, but that was a great guess. I was
It
going to
was
say
a
do
great
the next
guess.
vowel, but
Yeah.
So sad. So
Yeah.
sad.
Unfortunately,
I
was a
had
tough
what, like a 3.8% chance of getting that right, or
Yeah,
I guess I did.
basically.
I knew it was S and not O.
Yeah.
Something 4 and change.
sadly,
Yep.
we're not going to be able to, switch channels, but we can finish the trivia.
yeah.
Let's do it.
We'll finish the trivia.
We'll see how high of a score you get here.
Yep. Question number 3.
Yeah.
A zip code is a postal code used in the United States Postal Service to identify where letters and packages are delivered within a specific town or city or community. The zip part is an acronym, ZIP. What does the Z stand for? Bonus point if you can name the whole acronym.
Let's see. Zip. Zone is what I have for Z.
You got that correct.
Ding!
Okay.
Can you get
So
your
let's
bonus
see.
point?
Ooh, if he gets the bonus point, he gets back on the board, and then the Logdottzip channel could.
Yeah, the potential there.
Let's see. Zone. Zone indicator placement.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm sorry you don't get
close.
the bonus point.
Shucks. What is
it? Zone improvement plan,
Ah, okay.
which is actually
But
interesting.
actually-
That's a weird
No,
acronym.
it was. You know what? When I researched about this, it was sort of like an afterthought because they wanted to use the word zip for sure, so they built an acronym around because they were like
Right.
zipping. They were saying, "I'm going to zip around because the postal service is so speedy."
Really?
Kind of
Wow.
a dumb acronym. Yeah.
Snapple fact.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Anyway.
Shield. They just wanted
Like
to
Shield,
use
yes.
Shield, the acronym. Huh.
It just happens to be Shield. Oh my goodness, we're
Superhero is excellent. Logdot.
There you go.
all right. The new
You
acronym.
know, it's all about branding. They wanted it to be zip because it's easy to remember. Branding is important, man.
Okay.
I wish I knew that when I made my username.
Well, speaking of
you would-
log, question
right.
4. Log is also a term used to describe when you record your day-to-day activities. You know, like if you want to start a channel about the process of going and deconstructing something. It's a good idea.
Yep.
Eh?
How did you know about that?
With the rise of the internet, a few words attached to this activity gained traction within the culture, including the word vlog, which is short for video log, and the earlier term blog. But where does the B come from in blog?
Ooh. Ah, goodness. Oh no.
Actually, this question might be phrased just a little bit off now that I'm looking at it.
Well,
Instead of where does the B
Research
come from in
department?
blog, what is blog short for?
sure.
What is blog short for? Oh my goodness. I don't even know how to guess the answer.
It's tough.
I have no idea. I feel
Oh
ashamed
man.
because I used to have a webpage called blog.zip,
Blog.zip. That's good.
and
It's a good name.
my blogs were vlog.zip.
Yeah.
But you got me, guys.
Man. Okay.
Well, the B is actually chopped off of weblog. So it was a web log. You were logging your for the
okay.
web.
Weblog.
How about it?
Yeah.
Yep.
You learned something today.
Hey, every day, right?
Every day.
I'm gonna have to remember this one.
Yeah.
This is another note for how things are created.
I'm
Question
proud
number
of this
5.
question. This question I'm very proud of.
This is you are now 2 for 4. You have a chance to go into the positive, okay? Now I just want no pressure, all right?
Do it.
You have already gone above the lowest person who's gotten the lowest score. So in fact, they were a team. So you've actually done better than a whole team. So GG to them.
Yeah.
Now we're going for point number 3.
Let's do it.
Zip, which was founded in Ireland in 1936, is a company that specializes in products of various recreational activities, with merchandise available internationally through different popular retail stores. The tagline for one of their popular products reads, "From individually wrapped to natural cubes, Zip has you covered." What does Zip specialize in selling? And there are several different possible products you can name.
What's the what was the tagline again?
From individually wrapped to natural cubes, Zip has you covered.
I'm gonna guess confectionery treats.
That's
Candy.
good. Candy. Well, is that your final answer?
To me, your response is indicative of me having gotten it wrong. But I'm gonna just go ahead and go with my gut and say candy.
Well, I mean, you could possibly eat kerosene fighter starters as candy.
That's my favorite flavor.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, here's why it's so cool. This is why it's so cool. Because
It's
their
fire.
most popular product is the fire log. The Zip log. The Zip log.
Oh,
Hey?
there it is.
It's a fire log in a wrap. You throw it. You don't even. I don't know why it's called Zip, because you don't have to unzip it. You just put it in the fire, and it goes for 2 hours. This podcast is brought to you by Zip Fire Logs.
Yep.
right.
The I was kind of hoping you might have known like Zippo lighters.
Right.
Nothing to do with that.
They're not.
Not familiar.
Charcoal
Not the same
barbecue
company,
grill ignition things, kerosene fire starters.
I got to get some brisket on the grill.
You got it.
There you go. There you go. What I am going to do is cut your face where you and put that when you get the joke from Q there, because that is a perfect response to Q Magnet's jokes. Perfect. Would it be okay? Could I just use that in all future episodes?
Sure, do it. Hey, you could have
dad joke.
the Q counter.
That's it.
Face just pops up every time.
Oh man, that's solid. Hey, good job. Good job on Void Frogs trivia. GG, you got 2 out of 5. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, I got an F.
That's
Hooray.
right. That's right. You done well.
Not in today's education system. You can't even fail.
Yeah.
All right. Where's my trophy?
We'll maybe get in the
We used
mail,
to do digital
maybe.
certificates and then got it out
There
of the
you
budget.
go. There you go. Tyler, this has seriously been a pleasure, and I would love to geek out and talk more business and more everything with you, because this has just been a great time. I really, really appreciate you being here. Before we end off, Q, do you have any final comments that you want to make?
Do I have any final comments?
No pressure.
Well, no.
No. Okay. Tyler, then I leave this to you. The floor is yours to tell people where they can find you, where they can follow you. We're going to put all the links in the description and in the show notes as well. Also, I mean, if you want to say something to all the little kiddos out there, you know, anything at all, you go right ahead. Leave us with some final words and where to find you.
Well, hey, viewers of all age, I appreciate you tuning into the Void Frogs podcast. It was an amazing conversation. Tim Q, I appreciate your time, efforts, and energy, and the amount of research you did to make me feel the warm welcome that I did feel. The best way you can continue to support me as a viewer or to begin supporting me as a new viewer is to check out our content, contribute to it. We oftentimes look through our comment section, our community posts, and we grab some of your ideas and bring them to life through our command block developments. I have big thanks to give to my team, my pre-production team, my post-production team, my back-end management team, my managers in general, people at Microsoft. Thank you for the opportunity for me to carve out a living out of something I'm just so terribly and deeply passionate about. And I really owe it all in a sense to my viewers. Thanks for continuing to be a part of the story. Thanks to those that have come and gone. Thanks to those that are still around. Thank you to those that are able to directly support me financially through buying our marketplace content, through, to your point, Tim, being a member of the Logdotzip YouTube channel, through our membership. Just thanks to anyone that's been there to touch my life in some shape or form. Means the world to me. I'm privileged to be able to do it, and I hope to continue to into the foreseeable future.
Hear, hear. 3 cheers for
here.
that. That's
Oh, here. I thought you said you're here. I'm like, that's right. I'm here, baby. Here.
Awesome. And people can find you at... go on, please.
Well, just again, thanks for having me on. You can find me at Log.zip. You can find me at Minecraft PE Log.zip. That's a search term channel name.
If I type in let's do it. Log.zip on the internet. Log.zip.
Oh, it's just him.
Comes up with
him. Just always him.
Whoa! Oh my! I can't believe that picture's there. Oh my goodness.
Let's not. Log.zip, Minecraft PE Log.zip. You can find me at Dungeon Crawlers. You can look out in the near future on any of those channels to find us, more than likely trying to convert our audience over to our new channels. And if you happen to like video games, you can check out Blockness Monster, Big Block Island, Alex the Noob Survival World, and the upcoming arcade dropper.
Awesome.
But if you can't do any of those, then I appreciate your time in and of itself.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. And for those of you who want to listen in some more, the Void Frogs, you can follow us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, and we just recently landed on Stitcher as well. So if you guys got that, go check it out over there. Or on YouTube, youtube.com/thevoidfrogs, twitter.com/thevoidfrogs. We're on Facebook. That's about it. That's the only places that we are.
That's about it? Where aren't you?
Everywhere.
That's a good
great
question. I'm here.
You're here.
So thank you everybody for listening in today. We will see you again next week at Void Frogs Fridays.
Under.
You
over,
can come back and hang
above.
out here, please go and show some love to Tyler on his channels. And
I love love.
Yeah, loves love.
Love.zip.
I hate. I love love.
That's your face again.
Thank you so much for that. Oh man, that's perfect. That's going up on my wall. That's going behind me on the green screen. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you all around next week. For now, we're out. Peace.
Thanks everybody.